So in this video, we're going to be repairing the seat bolster on a F-150. This is an older model truck, but you can see where it's been worn out by getting in and out of the vehicle. And this happens a lot on trucks that are high up. People jump in and out, and this is the result of that. It just wears out in that area and it breaks apart, and then the foam falls off. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to repair this and how to add more foam to make it look decent, back to its old self again. First, we'll start by removing this side panel. We want to remove the side panel in the stitching that is native to the seat already, because that's the same stitching pattern that we're going to follow when we stitch the seat back up. We'll reuse some of the stuff that's there originally. In order to remove the stitching, you just have to find where the stitching starts and just start breaking it with a razor blade to pull the bolster out. And well, all I'm doing is just cutting the stitching. That way I could pull the bolster out and cut a pattern for it. So in order to finalize in the process of removing the bolster, we have to remove the fabric from the actual foam. Now most cars, all they have is a Velcro, and you could just pull it apart. And this Velcro is old, so I'm going to have to re-glue the other part back to the seat, and it comes apart. Some cars have hog rings. This particular seat has both. It has Velcro and hog rings. So you got to make sure you got a hog ring plier to be able to remove these hog rings, and make sure that you have a hog rings ready to put back on the seat whenever you replace it. So to remove these hog rings, all I do is just stick the plier in there and grab the hog ring, and then I just turn it. Usually it comes out, but that one just broke. Let's see if this one will just come out. There you go. And that's how they come out. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you have separated the bolster from the seat bottom. And essentially, this is how it fits together, but threaded together. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a pattern of the new fabric, and then we're going to start sewing it back together. That way we could put it back on the seat. So now that we have cut the patterns, we're ready to add foam backing and begin to sew. So now that we got the foam backing on there, we're going to sew these together. So now that we have sewn the bolsters together, we want to add the French stitch, the French seam on this one side of the bolster to replicate the original seat. So now once you have the French stitching, you can start putting the seat back together to the original fabric. So now that the seat is finished, you want to put it back together to the foam the way you got it out.